17-year-old Sarah Grace Patrick has been arrested for the brutal murders of her own mother and stepfather. This shocking murder case had gone cold for months. 41-year-old Kristin Brock and 45-year-old James Brock were found shot to death. Their bodies discovered by their 6-year-old daughter in a horrifying scene that shattered the community. But what makes this story even more chilling? Sarah, the alleged killer, stood before hundreds of grieving friends and family at their church funeral and gave the eulogy.
Although there's nothing we can do to bring them back, we still have control over how we treat people.
She cried. She spoke lovingly of the parents she had just murdered in cold blood. It was the performance of a lifetime, hiding the brutal truth behind crocodile tears. Now the mask has fallen. Sarah Grace Patrick is behind bars, charged with 2 counts of murder for the deaths of her mother and stepfather. How did she hide the truth for so long? And what led investigators to finally close in on her? This is the disturbing case that will leave you speechless. On February 20th, 2025, deputies from the Carroll County Sheriff's Office responded to the 1500 block of Carrollton Tyus Road in Carrollton, Georgia, where they made a grim discovery. 2 victims found dead from apparent gunshot wounds. The murders of 41-year-old Kristin Brock and 45-year-old James Brock went unsolved for months. Their 17-year-old daughter, Sarah Grace Patrick, lived in the home with her mother, stepfather, and 5-year-old sister. Kristin and James resided in Carrollton, Georgia, a city west of Atlanta, near the Alabama state line. They were devoted churchgoers and well-loved members of their community. On February 19th, James posted a heartfelt photo of his youngest daughter to Facebook with the caption, "When I'm down and don't feel good, I find comfort in this lil girl. Love you, Angel Cakes." He had no idea it would be the last post he ever made. Just 24 hours later, James and Kristin were both shot to death, allegedly by their own teenage daughter. Tragically, it was their 5-year-old daughter who discovered their lifeless bodies. Found brutally shot to death in their bed, Kristin and James Brock's case remained unsolved for months due to a lack of leads. In the days following the murders, Kristin's father offered a $5,000 reward for information leading to the killer, stating whoever committed these murders was cold-blooded. But this week, police finally announced they have identified the killer, and it was someone he knew all too well.
On the morning of February 20th, 2025, deputies with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office responded to a tragic scene at 1531 Carrollton Tyus Road. They discovered the bodies of James Brock, 45, and Kristin Brock, 41, both deceased from apparent gunshot wounds. From the very moment the 911 call was received, a relentless investigation began, one that would span months, consume thousands of man-hours, and require the full weight of the local and federal law enforcement agency partnerships. Today, we can confirm that an arrest has been made in the case. Kristin Brock's 17-year-old daughter, Sarah Grace Patrick, has been taken into custody and charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault in connection with the deaths of her mother and her stepfather.
When asked about the motive, law enforcement had this to say.
Has she been charged as an adult?
She has.
And any idea what her motive was that she made a confession?
We are still working with her diligently. Our investigators have been speaking with her.
It is correct that she was the one who made the 911 call, correct?
Yes.
At what point did investigators begin to focus on her as the suspect?
So I believe in the beginning of any case, everyone's a suspect. I think I told many of you that when we were on scene that day. However, as an investigation continues and everything ebbs and flows, like I said in my press release, mountains of evidence has gotten us through here today. Lots of processing, lots of working with our law enforcement partners to get us to where we are today that honed in on her as a suspect.
Sarah Grace was just 16 years old when she allegedly gunned down both her mother and stepfather in cold blood. So what do we know about Sarah Grace? According to law enforcement, she had been living in the home at the time of the murders. However, in the years leading up to the tragedy, she had bounced between relatives, never staying in one place for long. But on the day Kristin and James Brock were killed, it was Sarah who called 911. In the days that followed, people on social media raised eyebrows. Many questioned how a 5-year-old child was the one to discover the bodies, and how that same child had to alert the teenager inside the house that something was terribly wrong. Sarah Grace was also very active on social media, and some of her past posts have since taken on a chilling new context. She even spoke at their funeral in this shocking video.
Although there's nothing we can do to bring them back, we still have control over how we treat people.
Her TikTok posts were nothing short of shocking. Sarah painted herself as a heartbroken daughter, a young girl shattered by the senseless murder of her parents. But look at this. On March 1st, just weeks after Kristin and James Brock were found shot to death in their bed, Sarah posted a tribute video in their memory. The caption read, "They don't know it, but a year from now, me and my 5-year-old sister will find them wrongfully shot dead in our home, and they won't get to watch me graduate high school, see me walk down the aisle, and we couldn't even say goodbye." Now, in light of what we know, that post feels haunting, almost prophetic. Here's another post. "Life is hard, but at least I have my mom. At least I have my mom. My mom. Mom. Question mark? Then there's this chilling post from March 18th, less than a month after she allegedly shot her parents while they slept. It shows Sarah crying with the caption, "Please send prayers for healing and a break from everything. I'm so tired I should probably delete later." And on Mother's Day in May, she shared a tribute to her mom, Kristin, the very woman she's accused of killing, writing, "But my ultimate inspiration comes from my best friend." Here she is again, visibly emotional, filming herself as she heads to the funeral for the very people she murdered. There's also this haunting photo that reads, "What do you mean I can't call my mom?" And another that simply says, "Why me?" It's a deeply tragic story, but investigators say the evidence against her is overwhelming. Yet even after allegedly covering up the murders, Sarah seemed to carry on with her life. Just a week ago, she posted a video, smiling on a beach. During a recent press conference, law enforcement revealed that Sarah Grace voluntarily turned herself in after being informed she would be charged in connection with the murders of her mother and stepfather. It was her biological father who drove her to the sheriff's office. Authorities say the case against her is backed by what they described as a mountain of evidence, though they declined to share specific details at this time. As for her half-sister, the young girl who first discovered the bodies, she is now in the care of other family members. What are your thoughts on this tragic story? Please leave them in the comments below. Also, if you like our videos, please remember to subscribe, like, and share. By doing so, it tells YouTube to show our content to more true crime fans. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you at the next video.